What is going on, guys? Today we are talking about preparing for your first powerlifting meet. This is going to be part of a series, Powerlifting 101, where I teach you about powerlifting, hopefully get some people involved in the sport, hopefully share the knowledge that I know. So without further ado, let's dive right in. We're going to be talking about a couple of different bullet points today. Number one is training leading into competition. Number two is being prepared on meet day. And number three is miscellaneous things such as a nutrition plan, a weigh-in plan, and so on and so forth. So let's dive in. Number one, program. You should be following a program leading into competition. No matter what, if this is your first powerlifting competition or you've done it for a numerous amount of years, you need to be following a program going into comp because you need to know your attempts in competition. So imagine showing up to meet day and you didn't follow a specific program and you show up and you don't know what you can do weight-wise. So your first attempt, you're like, I guess I'll try this. And then you miss it and then you're stuck there for the entire meet and you didn't even get on the board. That doesn't sound like fun. Follow a program that's specific to you and specific for powerlifting. A very, very rough outline of a powerlifting program goes light, light, heavier, heavier, heaviest, lighter, lighter, comp day. That heaviest is whenever you get your 1 rep maxes, and this is anywhere from 1 to 4 weeks out from competition. It should be around about like 2 weeks out from competition. And that's whenever you know your projected 1 rep maxes. And then that's how you know your attempts leading into competition. Have a program, follow the program, and track everything during the program. You need to be tracking if you want to be successful in powerlifting. Reps, weight, how you felt afterwards, how it felt during. That being said, you also should be fully recovered on meet day. If you are sore going into meet day, you did not peak and you did not program correctly. Follow a program, stick to it, track everything, know your numbers. Number two, meet day preparation. So you followed a specific program, you got all your numbers. Now, let's make sure you can lift heavy stuff and do the thing that you set out to do. 3 things you need to think about whenever you think of meet day preparation. Number 1, travel. Number 2, have a plan for your equipment. And number 3, warm up. A travel plan would look something like this. If your meet is on Saturday and you have to travel there, it's a drive, it's a whatever. You need to plan that ahead of time. You're gonna have to plan when you leave. If you're staying in a hotel, you need to bring all of your equipment with you if you're staying in a hotel. Have a plan, have a travel plan. And this should be done ahead of time. You should not be booking a hotel a day away from your meet. Do it a couple weeks, have the hotel booked, and then know how far away the hotel is from the gym or the venue that you're lifting at. So, okay, I can show up this time, we'll stay the night, I have to wake up at this time, so that means I have to eat at this time. Like, you need to backwards plan these things so that you're best prepared on comp day. Plan it early, book it early. Equipment plan. Almost all federations require you to get your equipment checked. Equipment can be anywhere from singlet, belt, shoes, to socks, underwear, anything that is on your person whenever you step on the platform is equipment. So this needs to be planned out. I like to have a separate bag that has everything in it. It has my belt, my shoes, my socks, singlet, t-shirt, all of the things that I will wear on platform is in that bag. So that way, whenever I go and I get my equipment checked, I take it off, hand them it, that's it. Everything in that bag, you can check, that is what I would be wearing. And, little side note, if they have early equipment check, do it. If your meet is on a Saturday and Friday evening they have equipment check and you're there in the area, do the equipment check early. Because then you can get weighed in and then you skip the equipment check that everyone else is doing and then you get to eat and digest food while everyone else and all the lazy people are getting their equipment checked. You get to eat, get hydrated, get fueled, and that food will have time to digest and process before you step on platform. And you need to have a warm-up plan going into comp. Know what works for you, know what gets you nice and warm, know what you like to do, what you like to listen to, everything going into competition. Even down to like know what bars they are gonna use, know what type of plates they are, so that you know going into comp, going into the venue, what it's gonna look like, what it's gonna feel like, and you can plan accordingly. You can always ask meet directors ahead of time the schedule for the entire event. They usually have one. And most of the times they send it out to people anyway, and they just don't check. This way you can really, really plan. You can say, okay, weigh-ins are at 8 a.m. And then, so that means I can eat after I get weighed in. We don't lift until 9 a.m. So I have an hour. So if I do early equipment check and I can skip that little step, then I can eat early, everything. Have a plan, be early, and do the things that you need to do first. Talk to equipment directors, talk to venue managers if you need to, and reach out to these people and have a plan. 3, everything else. A deep dive into a couple things. We're going to talk about nutrition, weigh-ins, knowing your first attempts, second attempts, and even down to meet day nerves. Nutrition plan could have went ahead, could have went in spot number 2, because you need to have a plan ahead of time for nutrition. I mean way ahead of time. You should be even experimenting with certain foods during your training sessions. A rough outline is you want something that has carbs, has a little bit of fat, has some sugar, and doesn't have a lot of fiber. You also want to be a little hydrated as well. So I eat every single time before a competition, 1 banana, a peanut butter jelly sandwich with honey made with sourdough bread, and then a hydration powder of some sort in like 6 to 8 ounces of water. You don't want to be overly full in water because you don't want to have to use the bathroom during comp, but you also don't want to be under on water and be dehydrated. Carbs, sugar, those are your main focuses. You want low fiber. You do not want to have to use the bathroom, and you do not want to feel bloated going into competition. That would be horrible. Now that we talked about nutrition, let's talk about weigh-ins. This should be planned ahead of time. Lose the weight to perform your best. Not lose the weight that Sally told you to lose because the state record's this much and you lift this much. You set a day on the calendar to be your absolute strongest. So then you decide to lose 20, 30 pounds to try to get there, and then you lost strength. Imagine setting the day, being like, this is the day that I'm going to try to perform my best. And then you're weaker than what you were whenever you made the plan. That just doesn't make sense. This isn't bodybuilding. You don't need to lose that much weight. Pick a weight, know your weight, keep the weight. You should be at weight a couple weeks ahead of time. You don't want to be a miserable shit going into competition because you decided to not backwards plan, and now you're overweight and you don't know what you're going to do. Now, if this is your first competition, don't worry about weight. If this is just your first time, trying it out, whatever, you don't have to worry about weight that much. Whatever you show up as, great. If you're going for something, if you want to do this regularly or intently, know your weight, keep the weight, period. Now, a lot of you have probably heard of like water loading and this, that, and the other. I'm not going to talk about that stuff because it's dumb. You should be able to make weight without chugging 2.5 gallons of water the day before and being dehydrated on meet day. This leads me into knowing your first attempts. First attempt should be something that you know you can do. Nerves will be high, anxiety, maybe the bar will feel a little bit weird, you're lifting in front of people. So first attempt is always something that you know without a doubt you can get. Second attempt, I usually try to range somewhere around my old 1 rep max that I hit in training. Third attempt is balls to the wall, whatever you got without getting injured. So first attempt, always underestimate. Something that you can do minus like 5 or 10 pounds. Second attempt, usually pretty close to your previous 1 rep max in training. Third attempt, depending on how your second attempt went and if you're trying to win the meet or your goals, either that's your time to go for the goals or that is your time to maintain, get on the board. You cannot go down whenever you choose a weight. Your first attempt needs to be something that you know you can hit like that. You should not do an attempt that you have no clue if you got it or not. Time to hop into meet day nerves. First, it's okay to be nervous. Everyone gets nervous. It's normal. But what you're nervous about really, really matters. If you're nervous that you're not going to be able to perform and you're not going to be able to lift this and lift that and XYZ, you didn't train properly. If you trained the right way, you would have no doubts the lifts that you can do and the weights that you can do. But if it's just nerves about being in front of people and what people might think of your attempts or your weight or what the other lifters might think of you, that's, for one, really, really dumb. For two, you're there for you, not anyone else. Powerlifting is one of the most accepting sports I've ever been a part of. And you got to remember that everyone there watching you is watching you because we're all lifting heavy. That's sick. So whether your attempts are 100 kilograms lower than, the top guy in your weight class, no one cares. Heavy to you is heavy to you. So don't be nervous about what people think. Some tips: visualize the moment. It helps more than you would think. Just remembering that you're there for a reason, that you are who you say you are, and just imagine the weight going up. 2 of your attempts are weight that you should have gotten before, so you know you can do it. So now it's just, let's get it done. I'm here to tell you that you belong there. Powerlifting is one of the most accepting sports. We just want to lift heavy, and whenever it comes down to that, heavy to you is heavy to you. So remember that you belong there, visualize the moment, know that you can get the weight, and feed off of the crowd. Show your personality. It's okay to be yourself on platform. That is what makes you feel the most comfortable. Just remember, you belong there. Powerlifting is for everyone. Alrighty guys, thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully there was some good advice in there that helps you along the way. If you did enjoy, please hit like, hit subscribe down below. If I forgot anything, or if any of this will help you, let me know in the comments down below. And I will see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.